Good evening. This is Marcia Husar, and this is a message that I wanted to present to you all today, Sunday, February 14th, 2021, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I do spend considerable amount of time on social media in my free time, and I was very curious if today anybody will mention either in their postings or in their videos or in any other methods of communicating through the social media about the historical events that led to Valentine's Day. And I saw just about three postings out of 1,200 friends that I have. And that kind of gave me a pause. And I wanted to record this video simply to bring to your attention that if we have today a Valentine's Day, it's because a long time ago there was a man of God, a priest named in Latin Valentinus, or as some people will say in English, Valentine, who chose to disobey the orders of the Caesar of that time. The AD year is 269, and he used to marry in secret Roman soldiers with their fiancés. And the reason the Caesar did not want the soldiers to get married was because he wanted them not to be tied to a family. He wanted to increase his army. He wanted to be able to continue to conquer different lands, to be able to maintain the lifestyle that the Romans were used to, not just the city of Rome, but the entire Roman Empire. So our priest, Valentinus, did not believe that that was the will of God not to marry people, just to kind of shake up or shook up or hook up and live together with absolutely no blessing from the Almighty, from the Lord for their marriage. So therefore, he made himself available to any couple that was ready to be married, and the marriages were done in secret, and then they knew that they had the blessing of the Lord. The word got to Caesar. The Caesar chose to put the priest Valentinus in jail, and this is just simple church history. When he was in jail, the jailer's daughter, Julia, was blind, and according to the history, the priest prayed for her, and she received her sight. God did a miracle for this young lady, and the story continues that on February 14th, 269, so that's quite a long time ago, the order came from the Caesar for him to be decapitated, for our priest Valentinus. And before he went to be executed, he wrote a note to Julia and signed with his name, Your Valentine. That was the name, or I don't know how to say in Latin, Your Valentinus, if you will. So the word Valentine comes from the name of this priest. And what is very important for us to know is that the holiday came to celebrate the romantic love between two young souls who are about to be married, and doesn't have the meanings that we have associated with today, where even in workplaces, people call themselves a Valentine or invite coworkers to be their Valentines. No, it was strictly for the marital relationships or premarital relationships that people had as a way to celebrate marital love. That was the original intention of the holiday. Now, why am I mentioning this today? Because in my line of work as a chaplain in hospice, I deal with a lot of losses, and especially with people who are about to be married, or people who have been married and soon after they get married, they lose a spouse. I had cases like that. I have a case that I'm working with right now. One of our managers for the agency that I'm working for, whose fiance died just a few months before they were scheduled to be married. It happened last year. And imagine the grief that this lady is feeling. Imagine the whole emotional turmoil that she must be going through. I got to speak with her a few times, and she showed me about the struggles that she's going through, which is normal. And we discuss about the stages of grief and what do you need to do in order to be able to transition to a better place. Uh, there are many theories in helping people to deal with their grief, and this is the message that I want to present to you very briefly. But the number one theory that has been, to me, the most successful in helping people to deal with the emotional journey through the stages of grief is what's being called in literature the continuing bonds theory, which simply emphasizes the connection that two souls have with each other. I would like to call it the love connection, the bonding connection. And if that connection is real, if that connection is deep, even though one of the two may die, the connection continues, and that connection, the continuing bond, is what will help the remaining soul, so to speak, to be able to transition through the stages of grief and to get to another place, better place, emotionally speaking. So it's actually a reference to one of the most intriguing verses in the scriptures. There's a book in the Bible called the Song of Songs, which is a very romantic book for the people who understand it on a physical level. It's a deeply spiritual book for the people who choose to interpret the book on a spiritual level. And there's a verse at the end of the Song of Songs, chapter 8, verse 6, where the author is encouraging the people not to fall in love prematurely, but to be ready when the love comes, because love is like a fire, very apt description. And it's also caution them that love is stronger than death. So this is the title of the message, Love is Stronger Than That, because it connects with the message that I want to bring to your attention. Namely, that when you have a loss, the loss of a special soul that you are connected through love, and we're talking about spousal loss right now, just to be very precise, the way to transition through the stages of grief is to focus on the connection, the love connection, because love is stronger than death. So though death took away the physicality, the physical existence, the life of a person, the connection is still there. And in order to be able to transition through the stages of grief, you have to maximize the power of the connection. What I usually help people with is to remember, to bring forth into their cognitive memory, the memory that is the active memory that they can process either different scenes like pictures or different mini movies, different experiences that they had together. And even though it may be emotional, as obviously the other person is not there to witness the retelling of the story, by the process of remembering, people validate the connection even when they get emotional. Actually, that's a proof that the connection is still there, and they end up being helped simply because they know that even though that has occurred, that has not taken away their power to feel, their power to bestow love upon the person who passed away, and the power to find healing. And this is what Jesus did, actually, if you recall, when on the road to Emmaus, when he asked the disciples what happened to that stranger who was crucified, and to himself, basically, and learn from them, from their point of view, the story of the loss. So this is the message for you. If you had the loss, today's Valentine's Day was a day of grief for you, there's hope. And the hope is not to run away from the memories that you have with the person who passed, if it was your husband or if it was your wife, or it applies also outside the spousal relationship, any other person that you're connected through love. Do not shy away. Remember that person. If you need to take a journal to write a few things about that person, their qualities, different memories and such, go through a journal to see pictures if you have pictures, or if you have them on a smartphone, talk about with other person, and that way you'll find some healing, because love is stronger than death. And this is the message. Today is Valentine's Day. If you had the loss, do not be shy. Talk about it with even with a friend or a family member, and find some healing for yourself. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone. This is Marcia Husar, simply known as Mitch, And God bless you in everything that you do. And leave a comment if this video is helpful to you. Leave a comment. I do plan most likely to start a channel that will deal with issues of grief, but I wanted to record this just today as a way to start off on Valentine's Day. So God bless you, and leave a comment if this was helpful to you. Thanks.